Probably go over here. Ooh, that went better than I expected. Place the tarot card. Yeah, I'm not taking that out of the fire. Ta-da! 7 out of 7 runes. I keep expecting to miss that jump. Come on. And back to the waterfront. We'll head back and talk with the niece now. Sorry for having to break up the phone, but I'm getting stuck because I didn't have the markers anymore, and I'm just being kind of just brainlessly following them.
The heir to the throne, Emily Caldwin, is still missing. Any person
These never got replaced.
that leads to her discovery will be
So a
granted
few rats there, which I'm not really a fan of. Hippity hoppity. Oh, you're down here. Oh, it's back there, but I think the marker will just tell me there, then to come over here, kind of thing. Yeah, let's get rid of this vision.
The barrister's enemies caught up to him. He's in custody as a plague victim. Here's the will as agreed.
That'll do nicely. Perhaps better. But you were promised information. Well, my uncle came under Delilah's spell. He was obsessed with her. Everyone knew she'd been a servant at the tower before she studied under Sokolov. She was a painter, an artist. Beneath my family's class, for certain. My uncle became infatuated. But he looked older, and made us keep candles lit all night. He was afraid of the dark. One night we all went to Waverly Boyle's for a seance. It was an amusement. We didn't know what we were doing. I thought only the dead appeared at seances. But suddenly Delilah was in the room with us. My uncle nearly died of terror. She was there, but not there. We saw her as if she was very far away, standing in the old Brigmore Manor, painting at an easel, painting a name. It was your name, Dowd. That's all I know. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Oh shit. Again, the whaling ship be named after... Then again, part of me feels that maybe that's a bit too convenient, but at the same time, maybe that's the wrong way to see it. Maybe Dowd, sorry, the outsider is sending us up, sending us this hint. So, it's convenient. Probably is just the wrong word to use. We're meant to find it,
I'll be leaving soon. Goodbye, Dowd.
Okay. She's done talking. So, Billy, sorry about killing you that other time. Sorry about that. My arm slipped.
Timsh is ruined. He'll rot in Coldridge prison if they don't send him to the flooded district. It's poetic, I suppose. Maybe I was wrong about you, Dowd. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go home.
Ooh, I killed a hostile. Whoops. Wait, was that the guy who slid down the staircase? He doesn't count. No civvies died, no arms were wrong. 5 bodies were found. Low chaos. Failed not killing anyone and failed ghosting. Completed Granny's recipe. Raided all Timsh's chests. Had Barrister Timsh arrested and spoke with Delilah. And I got all the runes, bone charms, and found the outsider shrine. Apparently there's only one legit shrine. I kind of thought the other one counted, but no. And I did get the most of the coins. Delilah is a powerful witch who leads a coven that has moved into the ruins of Brigmore Manor. You've returned to your hidden base in Flooded District to plan your next move.
Jessamine Caldwell's hands were all that was holding this city together. With her dead, this city was a fast disintegrating web of guardsmen, overseers, nobles, weepers. Maybe this was the world the outsider was trying to show me all along. For years, I'd held together a shadowy band of ex-mercenaries, street kids, and refugees through discipline and a bit of black magic. On the fringes of a city that ate up innocence and weakness. Maybe today was the end of that small world. I thought of Jessamine Caldwell's hands shuddering as she lost her grip on life. Whatever doom was coming, I deserved it. My people didn't.
Okay, so we've gotten some stuff. But, so him saying he kept him aligned through discipline and black magic kind of works with what the Overseer was saying before, didn't it? That they were way too loyal to be... the people were way too loyal to a guy like Dowd. It must be magic. So we got improved armor, boot, stealth, and sunlight extra charge. We already had such an upgrade. No favors. Let's get a few capacity increases. Don't have too much stuff left. Money left. Would be tempting to grab extra boot stealth, but I don't think that's the right move. Let's get this. It's actually quite a good idea, because when you're doing the slow-mo time and trying to take out a few guys, having it reload quicker it's quite nice. Damn, I should have grabbed the remedy. Yeah, I'm done. Up we go.
Dowd, we've been attacked. Overseers are tearing the place apart. Looking for you. They're holding our remaining men, and their leader is in your chambers as we speak. If we take him out and free our men, we can still drive the Overseers back.
I want to know how the bastards found us in the first place.
I'm kind of annoyed. Spend all that money and stuff here. Still, that's fine. I can come down and grab it. If I need supplies to resupply. Meeting Dowd. Excerpt from a journal. Another stinky mouth. That's what my mother said. A mouth that would need feeding for years, then would sass her every time it opened. First words I can remember her saying that. When she'd drunk for so long that her eyes stopped working for good. Drunken ocean, it seemed to me. I left this patched up shack we called home, but before heading out, I reminded her of all the times she'd put her hands on me or thrown something on my head. The night she'd rushed me like an ox and sent me down the back stair. All the times she told me I was just another stinking mouth. Last thing I heard was her cursing me from her bed, cursing the blind dark. Running with my pals, we had to stay sharp to make enough coin to keep from starving. Same story across the aisles. Not biggest kids, but sometimes the smartest and meanest when we needed to be. The only way to stay off the back alley mattresses. Despite not desperate enough to go out on the drain flats with the mudlarks. Not desperate enough to go out on the drain flats with the mudlarks, so it was a knife for us, trying to catch the eye of the Hatters or the boys from Bottle Street gang so they'd take us on. But when a dandy from Sarkano stepped down from his polished couch and cracked my Deirdre's pretty head, left her twitching and dying in the muck, I snapped off one of the wooden gazelles atop the coach and drove the splintered end into his eye as deep as it would go. Last I saw Deirdre, she was still, eyes wide to the grey sky. But now I like to remember her with a smile, laughing from the void at the one-eyed dandy with a gazelle coming out of his head. No one will take me after that. The city watch made a full sweep once a week for months, trying to catch me. Even the Grand Guard came in from Karnaka down in Serkanos. It seems the dandy's daddy was the Duke of Serkanos. I was too much trouble for my friends from the old neighbourhood. Anyone who saw me tried to drive me away, threw rocks at me to get me to leave, or tried to get a bag over my head, hungry for the reward. Even the gangs cursed me on sight. Billy's bad luck, they say. Hexed. She'll make it bad for all of us. For all of us. You may think you know what loneliness is, but I can tell you don't. By late in the month of harvest, I had a hate inside me that would have choked most. Then I met Dowd. It was early in the dark morning. The only time I could go out. Walking the streets of the legal district, I saw them up ahead. Three who looked like boys from the city watch, but dressed out in uniform. They were out for blood and coin, running some kind of murder racket, waiting on a drunk barrister to stagger out of a bar at just the right time. I didn't see him at first, but in the flicker of an eyelid he was on them, out of the cold night air. Used a single blade, nothing else, and only touched each of them once, at the left side of their throat. Their blood splattered and streamed across the cobbles. Quick movements, an occasional grunt, dark hair, and the glimpse of a long scar down his face. When it was over, he made for rooftops. I'd never seen the like of it, so I followed. Could have stayed and looted the poor bastards he left bleeding. Could have eaten for a month, most likely. But this seemed bigger, so I tried to stay up with him. Tried to stay hidden without losing sight of him. All across the Dunwall into the wrecked and ruined parts. He crossed into what I could tell was his territory, hidden sentries and odd masks. I thought I'd seen everything in the city, all the gangs, but this was something else. Clinging to roof tiles and watching from behind chimneys. I watched, then followed him into an old building. Inside was all gloom, rotted carpets and desks full of rat-eaten papers, paintings ruined by the wet. There were weapons and practice dummies. Men lived here in secret, training with knives and crossbows. Lost track of him and continued to explore, but I was a fool. He'd known I was following and came up from behind. When I saw him, I froze, waiting for him to speak. You followed me. You found this place, and now you're not begging or running for your life. There's nowhere to run, I said, not very attached to it, to tell the truth. He came close and looked me right in the eyes, trying to see some light inside that'll tell my story. You think you're already dead inside, but I'll give you something to live for. You'll fight for me and kill people like the ones who've hurt you. I just nodded, feeling relief for the first time in months. Sorry for stuttering, and I kind of feel like I rushed it a bit, but yeah. So yes, that is Billy Lurk's backstory. So yeah. Certainly a sad one, but that's kind of to be expected considering this. Pretty much everyone has a sad backstory. You know, we'll be out of character if it's a happy one. Oh, my eye stings. Okay, so I was wrong with the last one, the last mission being the last mission. There's another one. And this is it.
Things are bad. Could the city get any worse?
Okay, we have Dowd's key, so we can open up any of these little lockers. Which do look cool. Christ, this place is absolutely swarming with these guys. There's a few bits of knickknacks all over the place. Bits of loot, bits of like the bone charms, runes, that kind of thing. There's an absolute horde of these guys. There's never a moment where one of them isn't being watched by another one.
Will you be leaving the city during the Fugue Feast this year? No, no, no.
No, no, no. Could take him down, but they'll notice in a moment. One really saw me. Choke. Grab. Yeah. Wait for it to tick back up and I can bring him over here. Okay, down here it is. It's gonna leave him on the floor up here, but it's a bit too holy. Noticed me enough to know I was here. Had a shot there for a moment, but I didn't get to take it. Strangle. Okay, just need to get this guy over here. Here will do. That will do. Grab. Move. Over here will do for this guy. There's a book here too. The Deep Watchers. Excerpt from a natural philosopher's journal. Before the cable snapped, there was nothing to see, nothing to report. My lantern revealed only an endless step below. My mission felt like a bitter failure. I would have returned to the surface empty-handed, but now, at the cost of my life, I've made a profound discovery. So I write these words in the hope that someday my companions will recover this diving bell, which has become my tomb, and find this journal. I want others to know what I've seen here, what extraordinary events have transpired. Frost is gathering on the inside of the thick portals, and my breath is misty. It's been 6 hours since this ill-fated adventure began. My calculations make it clear that there's no more than an hour of good air remaining within the sphere. What brought me here? Curiosity, a desire for glory, financial gain? In all the months I spent designing this submersible, my mind had been fixated on the minute details. Tempering the glass portals, the air flow from the surface to the sphere, the ingenious switch that would allow communication via bells with the ship above. I pored over every element in the design and construction of this apparatus. Why had I never considered that the creatures here might resent my intrusion, that they might lash out at the iron monstrosity, plunging deep into the unfathomable darkness? It happened in the instance. Out of the inky depths, a great fluke of a whale slid past my lantern, casting wide shadows into nothing. A second later, what had been a steady, controlled descent became a gut-churning tumble. The metal around me groaned, and I felt certain that the sphere would soon implode from the pressure. The spinning dizzied me, such that I could scarcely keep my feet. And then the savage collision upon where my skull struck the deck, and I blacked out. A precious hour of my time was spent in that fitful sleep. When I woke, the sickening realization came upon me, cut off, untethered, and completely removed from the world above, with no chance of returning. I extinguished my lantern some time ago in order to conserve air, and only then did the ghostly radiance of the C4 reach my eyes. Not the C4 itself, but the tiny tentacled creatures that swarm over it. They create a carpet of soft colors, twisting and moving in waves, as if they were singing with light. It is in this dim luminosity that I can see them. The leviathans, the great whales, here in their domain, they move with grace and elegance, with purpose. They've approached the sphere repeatedly now, one almost touching the portal with a great eye. As I stare into the orb, it occurs to me that the thing is not mindlessly searching for prey. It is observing me. It is curious. One by one they approach and peer in my window. There is an unnerving sense of intelligence in that gaze, devoid of